Hello, I'm Deborah Payden, and I've served as the Transitional Director Minister of the Lay Academy for the past 3 years.
And I'm Tisha Brown, and I am the incoming director of the Lay Academy. Very excited to be in this role. Debbie, I'm curious, as we're having lots of conversations over the last few weeks about the transition time, what have been some of your memorable moments from your time as the director of the Lay Academy?
There's a lot of memorable moments, but I think if I culminate them into one, I think my favorite thing about the Lay Academy is that I think it's really a transformational ministry for people. I think they come in and they have come for a variety of reasons. They're not sure about those. They're a little frightened, a little tepid about coming. And at the end of their 2 years or 4 years, they have just grown and blossomed. And they've grown in their confidence of their faith. And they were seeds when they came, and they're at least saplings when they leave, if not more than that. And that is a joy and a delight that they begin to discover for themselves more about our biblical heritage, our history, practices of the faith, and they grow in confidence about that, and they grow in their understanding of the wider church because they're with people from all over the conference and other conferences. And so this little tiny place that they're at has grown for them. And that's really a great joy and delight for me. And I've seen that in, I think, everybody, at least in my 3 years, that has gone through the academy. That's my favorite part. And because of that, I think then the academy is a transformational ministry in our conference, and has been since its inception 20 years ago, that it has done that for the conference over and over again.
You know, I really noticed that this last weekend at the Wisconsin Conference annual meeting, and having an opportunity to attend the various Lay Academy the workshops and the luncheon for Lay Academy folks, and I think there was one other thing, the after hours conversation that we had. Really got a sense of how the people that were there who'd been through Lay Academy had experienced so much personal and spiritual growth as a part of their participation in this ministry, and are now out in the world doing all kinds of amazing ministries, whether through their particular careers and just seeing themselves as people of faith in their vocations in the world in a different way, and feeling freer about talking about their faith with other people, or whether they've found a particular vocation within the life of their congregation, or some that have gone on to seminary and are now serving congregations as clergy. It just was the stories and the way in which people's lives had just blossomed through participation in this ministry is really exciting to me. Really exciting.
And that Ephesians text about equipping the saints for ministry is so to the point for Lay Academy, because I think that's what people discover, that I have different gifts than you do, but together we both have gifts for the building up of the body of Christ in a variety of ways. So that's great.
It really reminded me of why I went to seminary in the first place, like how I got on that journey to pastoral ministry through that same sense of God's work in my life, and seeing people in our conference being turned on by that, and recognizing now as just like newly coming out of 12 years of pastoral ministry, how limited clergy are in what we can really do to nurture those seeds of faith in the people of our congregations. We can preach and we can do worship, and those are important, and we do pastoral care, those are all really important. But I don't, at least, feel like I ever really had the time to really sit with someone and teach them and nurture their growth. And so to be able to refer someone to the Lay Academy and to know that this was a place for them to really grow in faith is exciting.
And I think that's why the Lay Academy came about, because there was a perception in the conference that there needed to be more, that people in local congregations were not always able to get what they wanted or needed. They were hungry for more. And so let's bring all of these people together, because we can't all do it in the local church, but we can do that and bring in these wonderful teachers from colleges and seminaries and local churches who can provide that kind of intentional teaching time with people. And that's exactly, I think, why it came to be, and why it's continued. I I think the integrity of the program, the strength of the program is its integrity and its accountability that people have within that program and that ministry. I also think, Tisha, that the Wisconsin Conference Lay Academy is a gift to the broader church. I hear that when I would go out of the conference to General Synod or other places. We've had people come from the Great Lakes region. I think it's a gift that we have offered the broader, bigger church, and it's still going strong. It's still very, very much a vital ministry of this conference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've been thinking, I haven't paid close attention to how the United Church of Christ has moved through the alternate paths to ministry conversation, but I do look forward to being a part of that conversation going forward, because I think programs like this, ministries like this, are crucial to our growing understanding of ourselves as a church that recognizes and lifts up the gifts of all people and helps people find ways to use those gifts in the world, whether it's through the church or through their particular vocations or the work that they do in the wider world, or through birthing new ministries that are whatever happens, and so to be able to be a part of that conversation, not only in Wisconsin, but as it's evolving in the wider United Church of Christ, is really exciting to me. I've had a lot of interest over the years in the emerging church, and I see the Lay Academy as one way in which the Wisconsin Conference is tapping into that energy and that sense of urgency and creativity around reimagining ministry. And so just meeting the people this past weekend and seeing the creativity, the spark, the sense of authority, we've talked about that some, like people really own their faith, and they feel confident in acting out of that faith in a variety of ways through the work that they do at Lay Academy. So it's just exciting.
It's very exciting
to be at this position.
And these are often it's the Lay Academy people then who are in other ministries in the conference, in the youth ministries, in the revital and vitality of the local church and the 5 practices. These are the people that are now interested in engaging in those other kinds of ministries, and will carry, I believe, the church into the future and carry it well into the future.
Absolutely.
So I'm delighted that you're the director. I'm just delighted.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it too. Good. And thank you so much for your work over the last 2.5 to 3 years in sort of holding this ministry with so much care and love. I really appreciate it.
It was an honor and a privilege to be with all of those people and to shepherd the program. So it's in good hands.
Would we be remiss, Debbie, if we didn't mention that Lay Academy is funded in part by OCWM,
absolutely.
Our church's wider mission?
Absolutely it is. Without OCWM, there would be no Lay Academy. There would be none of the ministries.
None of this ministry.
Absolutely. The registration fees help to pay for part of the individual's expenses, but without OCWM, there would be no Lay Academy. So
great.
We thank you.
Thank you.
We thank you very much.